Well, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until it. And we are live, the Unapologetic Podcast. What? Sports
Nothing.
edition. Kim, why are you
Yeah,
laughing?
I'm
Bam, it's
sorry.
back. Kim, what's so
Yes,
funny?
nothing at all. Hey, ma'am,
What's happening, y'all?
our official third co-host of the Unapologetic Sports Podcast. Loving it.
Yeah, we're here. We're here. Good to be here, y'all.
Yes, it is election night here in United States of America. We're going to talk some sports because if you want to take a break from politics, this is the time to do it. There's no NFL, no NBA, no NHL, no MLB, no sports. Everybody's committed to politics tonight. Hopefully, everybody went out to vote. The polls are closed on the East Coast. The polls are closed in the Central. We're still waiting on the Mountain and the Pacific people for them to close their doors in about 40 minutes or so. So until then, we're going to talk sports. Unapologetic podcast available on all podcasts and social media platforms. The actual factual Kim Smith is with us. Bam, the disappointed pro sports critic is with us, and we took last week off to have an amazing
Yeah.
politics show. We're back with sports, and what a great week to take a week off if you are a Bears fan. If you are a Bears fan, if you were a Bears fan after the
Oh no,
past
don't
two
say
weeks.
word. Don't say word. Y'all 10 toes down all the time. And we can't just talk about this week. We gotta talk about last week too.
Yeah, so if you were watching last Wednesday, Kim made sure to put into the notes the Bears at Commanders game after a bye week. Jaden Daniels versus Caleb Williams. Bam! What were your thoughts on the Commanders game?
Um, the Bears are exactly who we thought they were.
Yes.
They're just flat. There's nothing else to say. They were just flat. They had a decent little pushback in the second half when they sped up the game. They kind of try to speed up their calls and try to figure it out, but they're exactly what we thought they were. That's bottom line.
It was a disappointing game. Uh, Bears have they have the reputation now of just being this second half team. So the defense was able to keep them in the game, and the offense came alive in the second half, giving them a chance to win the game. And hey, they were up with 26 seconds left in the game. I mean, they were up. And but as we have the term until the fat lady sings, uh, the game is not over, and that's why we play the game. That's why we love sports. That's why we show up. And on a last second Hail Mary, Jaden Daniels with messed up ribs gets the ball
Mm.
towards the end zone, and the ball is tipped back to the Commanders receiver. Unbelievable loss.
Wasn't it like
Was it Steven? Was it
wasn't it
Stevenson
like
that?
52 yards? Didn't he throw for like 52 yards or something like that?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Was it Stevenson that tipped the ball back?
yeah, he was. It was him.
Yeah,
After he taunted the crowd and pointing and laughing at them and all that. But one thing is, I don't think he shouldn't get all the blame for that. Why? Because he did run back and made it back on time
okay.
yeah,
to tip the ball. Now,
Okay.
if somebody
yeah.
else was there boxing that, what's the name of that wide receiver? If somebody was boxing that guy out, now it wouldn't have ended up
Yeah,
like that because they just totally forgot about him. They forgot he was even playing.
He
yeah.
was just there chilling.
Yeah, he was chilling.
He
He was like
definitely
it was
was.
like a Christmas gift. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? So it wasn't all that young man's fault. He should have been focused on the game. like I said briefly last week in the comments, like he let's not put the blame on the young man who's what, 23? He's 23 years old. You got to blame his
Yeah.
captains, his position coach, his defensive coordinator, and his head coach. And that's a whole nother conversation there. So it was disappointing, but
Yeah, I agree with you, Bam. You know, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who celebrate prematurely
Oh,
and still
okay.
get the victory. You know, still get the victory.
yep,
Um, but the major issue with me, and I would have fired Eberflus directly after the game. Um, the major issue with me is, you know, Eberflus just really not taking accountability in the press conference, but also how he handled the plays before that to even kind of get them within striking distance.
yep,
Everything was just kind of relaxed. It was like, oh, okay, 26 seconds. We got this game. Um, and to allow them to get the ball, that last play, to get that ball to the sideline and get out of bounds. Then the
yep.
next play, you see all the defense lined up at the sidelines to keep them inbounds.
Hmm.
That's coaching, you
Mm.
know.
Hmm.
And so when you are a playoff team, you know, you are playing to get to the playoffs, win the division, because at that point, and they're still in contention for the division because they got a lot of division games left. So the season's not over. But I don't think that Eberflus is the right coach to take them to the next level. And I think that I would have moved on after that game because that discipline is just not there uh, for the Bears if they plan to be an elite team in the NFL and to get on the level of the Detroit Lions, who beat Green Bay in
Hmm.
Green Bay on Sunday. So
Well,
definitely,
I do have a couple of questions. Do you all think that there should have been a timeout called? A lot of people have been saying for the last 2 weeks, especially in that game, that, like you said, Bam, that they sped up the game, but in this instance, they maybe should have taken a timeout to slow it down, and maybe this wouldn't have occurred. Is that factual? Was that a missed call? Is that something that somebody should have did?
Um, at that point, you speaking of the last play, right?
Right.
There
So a
was
lot of the commentators have been saying that a timeout should have been called, I guess, before this play even started.
I want there was no need to because the
Mm.
clock was stopped.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Anybody who knows football 101 and how to play defense against a Hail Mary, you just play prevent. It's a prevent defense.
Hmm.
You rush three, everybody else fall back.
Okay.
It's you know what I mean. And then between the timeout, how many seconds do they got during the time? During if they still had 40 seconds of play clock to get
Okay.
prepared before this guys throw it up. So everybody football 101, you know, if it's a Hail Mary, rush three guys, everybody else fall back.
And so
So
this
there
is
was
not something that they actually did. So that didn't happen.
yeah, there was no need for a timeout. It was the last play. It was just what it was.
No,
There
I'm
was no need
asking
for a
this
timeout.
rush three guys like that. Did that happen in the midst of this Hail Mary? What you just described,
I,
what they're supposed to do?
yeah, but I think in this case they rushed four.
Oh,
I
got it.
believe they rushed four. But but you get the sense of what I'm saying. Like they rush a couple guys, everybody else fall back, smack the ball down, game over. That's how it's supposed to go. But
yeah, a timeout was not necessary unless
Mhm.
they were getting ready to maybe get a penalty or something like that. That's when you would call a timeout. You wouldn't want to call timeout, stopping the clock for and give the Redskins, sorry, Washington Commanders, an opportunity to set to set up. You want to
Oh,
make
got
sure they have to rush, that the pressure is on them.
it.
And
Hmm.
yeah,
then that's where you have your head coach and defensive coordinator. You have all these coaches on the sidelines. You even saw Caleb Williams one play telling
hmm
them, get back, and
Hmm.
that is That's discipline, and that's
Mhm.
players should know, but
Yep.
the players should also be aware that if they mess up, that coach is gonna be on they on
Uh huh.
their ass,
On their ass. Okay.
and I automatically went to Bill Belichick. A Bill Belichick team is not allowing anything like that to happen,
Uh.
or
Not at
they're going
all.
to be in major trouble after that game and have some very hard practices and maybe practices on your day off. And then only thing with Stevenson is that you saw him celebrating, rush to get into the play, and then when he
Mhm.
tipped the ball was tipped back. If
Yeah.
if he was in the right mental, you always
Uh
tip the
huh.
ball forward.
Tip it
You don't
forward. Right.
Oh,
right.
got it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You don't allow the ball to be tipped back because
Backwards.
the
Yep.
Redskins had the right. They had the guy. They did right. You have a guy behind the pile so that the
Mhm.
ball just miraculously gets back there. You are able to catch the ball. And
Yep.
before we move on, I want to say that there was a play where it might have been first. It might even been first and goal that Eberflus used offensive linemen to try to get the touchdown, and he fumbled the ball.
He fumbled the
All right.
ball. Yep.
They would have
So
been
that
up.
was
They
that
would
was
have already
another
been
play
up a
that was talked
touchdown.
about a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, they would have been up 2 touchdowns. The game would have they would have had to get to that.
Mhm.
You have Swift, you have Roshan Johnson, and you had the now traded Khalil Herbert to the Cincinnati Bengals. You had running backs that are more than capable of doing that. Why
Yep.
would you decide to do that at that point? He
Yep.
fumbles the ball. Washington goes down.
Once it gets to.
That's crazy.
Yep. So it's easy to
So
point a
it was
finger
just
at the
a
young
bad
man.
coaching game. You
You
said
know what
what?
I mean? But I say it was easy to point the finger. Oh, the young Stevenson threw the game and blew the game for us. But you got to lead. You got to watch what leads up to it's the whole game was
The
just
whole game was bad.
yeah.
Yeah. So collectively we can agree the whole game was bad.
Yeah, it definitely was.
I
Definitely.
disagree with that. I don't agree with the whole game being bad. What you want is you want the defense to hold teams enough where you can win the game at the end. Okay, so that's
Mhm.
what you want, and that's what the defense did. Okay, you have a rookie quarterback who I don't think should be playing, but he's playing, who put them in position to win the game at the end. Both things happen, and now you have bad culture decisions and not and undisciplined players that made you lose a game on the road that you should have won, you needed
Yep.
to win, and would have been a statement game. That's how coaches get fired. Um, Bears are not going to do it mid-season, but as you see, the New Orleans Saints fired their coach mid-season. Seven
Mhm.
Right.
game
Right.
losing streak. You started 2-0. You lose to the Carolina Panthers. You're done. That is how. That is what a winning culture is like.
Mm.
And
Right.
you fired the coach. Now everybody around there like, oh, okay, let me get my stuff together because
Mhm.
Right. Right. Right.
I can be released. I can be gone at any time. They're about business around here.
Okay.
And that is what we didn't see uh, during that Washington Commanders game, especially on the last drive. Bam, you brought up the prevent defense. I hate the prevent defense in the end, especially when you can get a score to win when the other team can score to win a game, especially on the field goal. Why would you
Right.
allow this team to just march down like that? You should
The
be
thing
playing to stop them. In this case,
now.
they needed a touchdown. He got broken ribs. You stop him, even if you blitz him, he's not
Right.
getting that ball down there. He had 12 seconds to get that
Yeah.
ball off.
The
All
thing. The thing.
it was just bad. It was bad.
Yeah. The thing with the prevent defense was they. It was not a bad call because that's just a general call in that situation, knowing that they're gonna loft it up. That was just a general.
Yeah.
That's what most coaches would do. But they could have, if not, if you have an elite veteran quarterback, who can get that ball a little closer within that 12 seconds. The Aaron Rodgers, the Tom Brady's, now you can't play the prevent with that with 12 seconds left. You definitely can't do that. Trust me, because they will get that ball a little closer and they'll kick a field goal. All they needed was what, 1 point. So it
Yep.
was just they was working with what they had to work with, and it was not a bad call. I just think it was just a shit show. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Coming in after a bye was just not. It was just it was a tough loss. I was stunned. I was stunned. I watched the entire game, and that's why I don't like 3 o'clock games. Give me the 12 o'clock game. I'm done with it by 3 o'clock, and then I got the rest of my day. Now I got to wait till 3. Then
Yeah.
I got to be pissed off at 6 for the rest of the night. I got people calling me from all over the country, sending
I
me
bet.
text messages. Hey, cuz, you okay? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm not okay. I'm not okay because
Well,
I
are
know
you
that I could have done a better job on the
damn?
sidelines.
Okay. Well,
Oh
are
yeah.
you ready to talk about this week's game where you were actually present at? How was Arizona?
Let
I
me
didn't
just say,
bother you. I
the,
almost see. I almost text you, and then I said, you know what? I don't need to because I'm going to see him on Tuesday.
let me say this first about
Okay.
Arizona and Phoenix in particular.
Hmm.
The food is trash. I've
You Chicago people cannot keep saying that. Y'all have to
Uh,
understand that you all have the one, literally the best. She got, well, we knew that, but sorry, Kamala got New York. But yeah, but y'all have to stop saying this whole like this food is trash because Chicago has the best food. And I'm not, you know me, I'm not even from here, and I can honestly say when I go other places, I'm instantly disappointed. Instantly.
look, look. When I say even the food chains,
Oh
food
wow.
is bad. It was just the food is bad. The best food I had there was Texas Roadhouse, something called yeast rolls.
You've never
Um,
had Texas Roadhouse?
no, I don't even know if I even heard of Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse
Uh,
is right down on what you know. I don't do y'all suburbs, but Texas Roadhouse is here, and that butter,
yes,
that
yes.
butter.
So that was my god sister put us on. That
Uh
was the
huh.
best part as far as eating about being in Phoenix. It was
Okay.
awful. I mean, awful. But anyway,
Hmm.
I did go to the game in Arizona, 3 hour flight, and I don't. The Bears never showed up to the
Oh wow.
game. You know, they never showed up. They were blown out. This is their worst loss of the season, and they never showed up. It was something in the air from the beginning that I could just feel. I'm like, I don't have a good feeling about this. And I think that all of us kind of nobody expected the Bears to go 2-0. If you've been watching the Unapologetic podcast sports show over the past few weeks, nobody really expected them to go 2-0. Uh, I was 1-1, but I was on the fence because of them losing the other road games that I was at. I think Bam was more like 1-1. I think Bam, you might have said they lose both actually. Uh,
yeah, it's just bad with that game. I think this just me personally feeling like I think the morale was still very low
Mm.
from the
mhm,
Washington loss. So because imagine Arizona ran for 200 something yards. They just kept
yeah,
pounding the ball. They couldn't stop those guys. They just kept pounding them, and after each play, you just see a little bit of life just leave out the Chicago Bears players, and
yeah.
there was nothing they could do. It was disgraceful. I didn't want to watch the rest of the game at a certain point. I was just playing with my phone while they were playing on the TV. I was just playing with my phone the whole time. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
How
yeah,
do
it
I'm
was
y'all
listening
bad.
though.
feel?
Sitting
How do
there
y'all feel about
watching.
the commentators and people coming at DJ Moore? I guess there has been video released that during one of the plays, DJ Moore walks off the field before the play is actually done.
Um, he's a competitor.
Justified?
They don't like to lose.
Yeah.
He's a competitor, and he's an elite player who knows what he's capable of doing. He knows, throw the ball my way, man, and throw it right.
Mm-hmm.
Protect this quarterback. He's young. Protect him. Give him some time to see me and throw the ball and get. So he even he said something. Someone asked him a question like, "Do you think your coach has lost the team?" He goes, "I want to say yes." No, he goes, "I want to say no." He's
Oh.
unsure. I'm sure he wants out of there
Mm-hmm.
at this point, but he's getting paid good money. He's still got to be a quote unquote team player. He's a veteran now compared to a lot of guys on the team. So he's just fed up, man. And he's a wide receiver. They're prima donnas. So if they get mad, they don't know
Yeah.
how to hide their emotions at all.
Yeah. Bam, you are spot on. I will say that we talked about this a bit earlier with some shows that DJ Moore's body language,
Mm-hmm.
during games, and he's definitely frustrated. Um, I will say that hey, this is some of the stuff that happens when you have a rookie quarterback. Um, this is some of the stuff that happens when you have an offensive coordinator who's in his first year with the rookie quarterback. It was something he said all the right things during training camp. Oh yeah, I'm so happy, Caleb, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We so this is going to be a part of the growing pains. DJ Moore is an elite wide receiver, and hopefully he can work through his issues he may have with Caleb and with the offense and stay locked in. And hopefully he does request a trade. I will say that DJ Moore is not being used correctly. You will see him lined up with one-on-one coverage. Most of the time, he's going to be open at some point, and Caleb has to get him the ball. They've been doing a lot of reverse routes with him, and a lot of
Right.
that hike and then throw the ball to the side and then try to let him make a play. I just think that they're using him wrong, and so that is the most frustrating part, that the Bears coaching staff is not using him the right way. But it's frustrating. He's on my fantasy team. I was pissed
Mm-hmm.
because he's not getting the yards and the points, and and a lot of that too has to go to the offensive line. The offensive line is not good, which Ryan Poles needs to fix and fix immediately. Um, the other thing is that Caleb is a rookie. A lot of stuff, Caleb. Caleb, one time he did this little fancy drop back sidewind throw, and it's like, sir, throw the ball, get the ball over
Right.
there. We're down.
Right.
Stop being a diva. And that was one of the problems I had with him. He's such a damn diva.
Hmm.
And yeah, so it was a hard sitting there in that stadium watching that game and spending that money on that ticket and them playing the
I
way they did.
I wondered whatever. I watched bits of the game. I honestly did not watch it all the way through this time. I just
No
I
need
couldn't
to.
do it. Yeah, I couldn't do it.
You ain't
But I
you ain't
did.
miss nothing.
Yeah, right. So, but I did think of you people that had traveled. I was watching the stands or whatever, and it did seem very solemn. It did not didn't really seem like y'all were enthused at all.
Yeah.
Do they? Hey, do they?
Bears fans were defeated.
Was the roof retracted? At least y'all had some AC in there.
So the roof was open
Oh,
at
Oh, okay.
first, and then it started raining. It never rains in Southern California, but it did
Right,
start
right, right.
raining there, and
mm-hmm.
that was kind of cool watching the roof close. I
Oh
might even put
wow.
it in my story.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, it was cool because and then the rain was only on the field, so all the seats are covered, but the
But
Oh
rain was on
wow!
the field.
But the rain was on the
Yeah,
field.
so
Wow,
that was the
that's a
most
dope
exciting
stadium.
part of the game.
That's
Yeah,
oh
a
wow.
cool
it's all right.
stadium. I want to go. I want to go now.
Yeah.
No, you ain't
Y'all in
missing
y'all
nothing.
stadiums.
You
So
you ain't missing nothing.
so the
You're
Bears
not
are
missing.
not gonna fire Matt, or they're not gonna fire the offensive coordinator, correct? Is that who else y'all been yelling at, Shane or somebody like that, if I remember
Yeah,
the team
I'll
correctly?
say I'll say Ryan Poles ain't gonna bust a move. Why? Because he doesn't want to see his work look like a failure yet
Ah,
until he's pushed to that point at the end of the season. He ain't gonna let that guy go. He's gonna let him sit there. And you know it's professional sports, so there's always that hope for that that switch where now they're winning. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? But I don't see that happening. I'm sorry, y'all. But Ryan ain't finna pull. He ain't finna pull that. He's gonna let the guy sit there. They're gonna beat up on the quarterback. They're gonna blame the young players. They're gonna do this and the third until everyone says get rid of this guy. So
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Does he? I know y'all have a lot of season left, but is that if this does not turn around, is he fired at the end of the season?
oh definitely.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I think that's it.
Okay.
This public
I don't.
outcry now.
Eberflus should have been fired last year,
Hmm.
but they made such a push at the end. They started winning at the end. That kind of saved his job. I feel like if they have the New England Patriots coming up at home next week. New England is not a good team,
Oh, okay.
but
Oh
they
no.
do have good players. They can put together a good game. So the Bears should win that game pretty easily. Uh, then you go into division play because they play Green Bay the
Right.
week after here, and then they play Minnesota. So if
Minnesota.
if
Yep.
he has a good showing against
Mm-hmm.
division rivals, Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit, then he probably will be here next year. But if they don't play well against these division games that they have coming up, um, it is he should be gone, especially if there is an experienced coach out there that has a reputation
Hmm.
um, of winning. I wouldn't
Oh,
go
okay.
get a brand. I wouldn't go get a brand new coach.
Mm-hmm.
Start from scratch with this team. I will go get a coach with a good reputation of winning to
Now,
lead this team.
with that late season run last season, thanks to Justin Field, that would have never happened. And that's just me saying. That's just me. And you gotta admit, Justin played it. He played lights out the last what 3 games. He did his thing. So
Shout
I
out to
don't know,
Justin.
man. Let's see. Let's see. I already done chalked up the season. I'm just keeping it
Oh
real.
wow. So
Yeah,
you
we're
you
gonna
already
no,
tapped out.
we're gonna have another ridiculously high first round pick next year.
Oh wow.
I already see that coming.
But what would they be able to pick?
Bears,
They can't replace Caleb. They've already
Um,
paid him all of this money.
I mean, he's on a rookie contract. They could shift some things around. You know what I
Really?
mean? I see us
well, Caleb's not going anywhere.
no,
Okay.
Caleb is on. He's locked in that contract for what 3 4 years on that
Yeah,
his rookie
Caleb isn't
contract.
going anywhere.
He's a
Okay.
first round pick. But I see us getting another high first round pick, um, and a new coach. Then let's see what happens. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Right now, we trying to figure it out. The defense is solid, like I said, but they just need to go pick some offensive linemen. Get some vets. Throw some money in their face. Get some veterans. Like
Yeah,
what's that dude? There was a certain guy that was available. They didn't even go for him. They didn't even look his way, and somebody else picked him up. So they
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. The Bears have the hardest schedule of all
Uh,
32
yep,
teams the
yep.
rest of the way. So
Oh, why is
this
that?
We
is well because they have not played any team in their division, and all the teams in their division are playoff teams.
Oh
Yep.
man.
or potential
Okay.
playoff team. So
Okay.
Yep.
they really don't have. They really don't. But I will say I'm not as I'm not giving up as much as Bam is. I am optimistic because the Bears
Bam
did
said,
beat.
I'm giving up.
Yeah, the
Because
Bears did beat Detroit last year, and they have a much better team. I would like to see the Bears at least beat the division teams at home.
Hmm.
If they can
Okay.
beat them at home, that would be a win. And I mean they need to be Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit at home. If they beat them at home, then that I will be okay with that. They have Seattle at home as well, and they have a road game at San Francisco, which is going to be a tough game for them as well. But I was there the last time they played San Francisco, and they came back and won. So
Oh, okay.
we'll see what happens with the Bears. New England here next week, and the game starts at noon. These 3 o'clock games that we've just had to experience. It was 2 o'clock in Arizona, and but 3 o'clock here. 3 o'clock versus the Redskins, noon game on Sunday. Go to church, bam, bam,
I'll,
bam, bam. Let's
I'll
bam,
be
keep you
bam,
updated
bam.
on Twitter. I'll keep you updated on Twitter. I won't be watching that one.
okay. Okay. And hopefully Kamala Harris will be the president coming in on Sunday. When yeah. In other news around the NFL, Dak Prescott is hurt. Shout out to Eric Spencer. Uh, Dak Prescott is hurt with a
Hey,
hamstring injury. He will be
Eric
gone
probably watching.
for a
Eric
few
is
weeks.
probably watching. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think he's tuning in tonight. So what up, Eric? How
Yeah,
you feeling, bro?
yeah. I'm trying to get Eric on the show. He always says he has to work. I think that he doesn't want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
No,
Maybe,
America's
he on.
team.
Hold on. He
yeah,
might be on
maybe we
Facebook
can
right
wait till he
now.
get off work.
Now let me see. I think his green dot is on there. He on Facebook right now.
Send him the link.
He on the book right now as we
Yes, send
speak.
him the link.
Okay. And shout out to Nate Anderson in the house. Thank you for watching and being a supporter, Nate Anderson. And the Detroit Lions and the Pittsburgh Steelers did something to bolster their rosters for a playoff push. Pittsburgh got a wide receiver for Russell Wilson, and Detroit replaced what is his name? Not Hutchinson on their defensive line uh, to make sure that they are good at that position. So we'll see. Bears in Detroit on Thanksgiving Day, and they have Detroit again later in the season. So shout out to them for bolstering. Only trade the Bears made, as I mentioned earlier, they traded Khalil Herbert, who
Little
was not
Herbert.
being used
Well, he
to
seemed very
Cincinnati.
happy about that because he put up a tweet right after, said thank you God. So it definitely seemed like he was ready to go. Where did he go?
He went to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh,
They lost their running back who was on my fantasy team, and I dropped him and picked up Khalil Herbert immediately. Khalil is good.
okay.
I like Khalil, but he
Yeah.
wasn't
Okay.
He,
being used here.
Hmm.
Roshan Johnson was the second tier, and of course DeAndre Swift. So it made sense, and I'm pretty sure he'll get a chance to play more in Cincinnati.
Oh, good. Okay.
yep.
Yeah. We're gonna move on to um, the next sport that I have here, and that is the NBA. We haven't talked much NBA because it was just game one, the day one of the season last time we were here. So we're 2 weeks in. Bam! Have you been following the Bulls season so far? I think they're 3-4.
Um, honestly, no. Um, for real, I haven't touched anything NBA yet this season. The league bores me. Um, Nothing exciting is really happening anymore. The biggest news the biggest noise that the league has made this season was the Bronny and LeBron thing.
Yeah.
So right now I'm still on football. It's football season, y'all. I'll be locked in when football season be on. I'm
Yeah,
locked in.
yeah,
So, but by the
yeah,
time the Super Bowl's over with, then slowly but surely I'll be getting into it. But right now, there's nothing really exciting happening. This ain't the '90s where we couldn't wait for the season to, you know what I mean, for the season to kick off. So now I'm just like, I'll catch up with them when I catch up with them.
yeah. That's fair. That's fair. And to prove your point, NBA viewership is down dramatically.
Oh wow.
Adam Silver said recently. So even though these networks are paying a lot of money to broadcast NBA games, viewership is down. So hopefully as the season goes on, things will pick up. It's a different league. It's not as
It is.
strategic as before. So many 3-point shots, and it for us old school. We're now old school, and those hard nosed physical play basketball
Right.
fans. It's a soft league. It's a shooting league. It's more playing like European style basketball. So I definitely feel you on that, and it looks like a lot of people agree with you, Bam, because they're not watching. And
Yeah.
and football season is in full effect, but that's
Yeah.
only on Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday
Monday
No,
night.
night.
it's
So the other
Yeah.
game,
Thursday. No, what is right now? What y'all got? Thursday,
Thursday,
Saturday,
Sunday,
Thursday, Sunday,
Thursday.
Sunday, Sunday, and Monday.
Okay, it's four
yeah,
days.
Yep.
yeah,
Right.
No, no,
Okay.
no.
and then they picked
Really?
up Black Friday. They
Oh,
got a
for
Black
real?
Friday game now.
Oh,
And
wow.
Oh
then towards the
wow.
end
I
of
didn't
the
know that.
season, yeah, they had a Black Friday game last year, 2 games. And then towards the end of the season, they start playing on Saturdays.
It's
Saturday.
So
Yeah,
America
yeah,
is a
that I
I know
know.
for
football.
a fact I've seen a
Yeah,
Saturday game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the year. America
Okay.
is a football. Americans love their football,
Yeah, it's the it's
So
the it's the
once
national
football is
pastime
over,
now.
I
yeah,
get
You
it.
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Um, what were your thoughts on the Wade statue, Bam? I know you saw it.
Um, yeah. Well, what can I say about it though? Wade likes it. He approved of it, but it's hideous. It doesn't look nothing like him. He looked like he's crying. Um, yeah, he shouldn't have approved that. He literally sat there and watched them mold that face, and he said, "Yeah, that's me." Yeah, he doesn't need that. They could take that down or put it in his backyard or
Yeah,
something.
that
Where
was awful.
Again,
yeah,
I
It was
think
awful.
I think we talked about this Wednesday or whatever. I think people are missing the fact that one, it's an action shot, okay? And then two, if you go and you look at statues of people that are still living, it does not look like them. And I think that is the problem. We know Dwayne Wade is alive and well, thank God. You know what I mean? And so like we're looking at this thing and just saying that's not him. It's not him, it's not him. It's a
so
statue of a moment in time. That's all.
yeah. So I heard a commentator say they need to get the guy the sculpture or whatever they call them that does the NFL Hall of Fame
Oh, is he better?
statues.
Okay.
Oh, he's the is the go check him out. Go check out his work. They
Oh,
look just like him, and I think that was just whoever did that was just they probably paid him a couple dollars. Like just throw something out there. But nah, Pat Riley should fire whoever made that decision to put that statue up.
okay.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Bam. Big Cole, you say you just watch Inside the NBA now, which is there in their last season because the games won't be on
Yeah.
TNT. Emmy-winning show. I agree with you. Definitely want to watch Inside the NBA, and I'm glad that NBA
Yeah.
TV replays the game. I mean, Inside the NBA after it has aired originally, because sometimes I'll be tired and I have to go to sleep for those late games. Uh, Bam, do you think that D Rose deserves a statue outside of the United Center?
Mm.
Hmm. I'll say no. The reason
Mm,
being is that he couldn't stay healthy
unpopular
enough.
opinion.
No, 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 and it is what it is. But I don't think he stayed healthy enough. You know, shit happens in life. If he was able to play and reach his fullest potential with the Bulls, yes, of course. It's like saying, does Scottie Pippen deserve one? You know what I'm saying? So D Rose never really gotten to that point where a statue should be erected in his honor. He didn't win a championship. He does got the MVP, Rookie of the Year, all that. But nah, I love to see him get one, but I don't think it's deserving.
I agree with you, Bam. I don't, and we talked about how weak the NBA Hall of Fame is. I don't think that his Chicago career was long enough to warrant a statue. I think that if you want to just go off of, he did win Rookie of the Year. He did have some great seasons here. He did go to high school here. Fine. I wouldn't be opposed to him having a statue here. I don't think that his career deserves it. I don't even think they deserve to retire his jersey. I think that it
Oh,
is
wow.
just um, a PR stunt, a way to sell tickets. Um, so no jersey from the Raptors and no statue for me for D Rose, but he is a Chicago legend, so I'm not going to disagree with them actually doing it. I do agree with you about Scottie Pippen though. Scottie Pippen does not have a statue, if I'm
Hmm.
not mistaken. And I think his jersey is retired. But I
Yeah.
would say that Scottie Pippen, even though I don't like him anymore, uh,
No one does.
deserves, yeah, yeah, I deserves a statue before D Rose would. Yeah,
So you all don't think that
yeah.
his ceremony in January is warranted that they're supposed to be having?
No, that he deserves it. Oh yeah, he could get that for sure.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, it's unfortunate, but what we can't just give out statues like that. In that case, Dickie Simpkins could get one. If you remember who that is, you remember?
You go,
Oh,
you
clearly
going
you
too,
he.
you
I'm like,
going,
yeah,
you
throw
going
him
too
out.
far now, Bam. Bam,
Yeah,
you
that's
going too
right,
far.
right. My bad. All right, BJ Armstrong then. BJ Armstrong then. You know what I mean? But but no, it's just unfortunate. I wish and D Rose story to me is a sad story.
Yeah,
That's just to me because I'd have loved to see where he could the heights he could have grew to get to.
yeah.
And it just didn't happen because he played so hard that his knees just gave out. He just played that hard. You know what I mean? And I think he's the last of the dying breed for sure. You know, because they don't play like the way D Rose used played back then. The Bulls filled up the stadium every single night, even even out of town. It was full of Bulls jerseys, and it was just so unfortunate. And it really makes me sad when I think about D Rose's career. But big ups to him.
Yeah. Real quick, Joel Embiid pushed the reporter, got a 3-game suspension. He got a massive contract extension. What are your thoughts on Joel Embiid, Bam?
Um, the reporter should have kicked him or something. Did something. The guy, I'm not a fan of his. For one, he's to me he's soft. He's an emotional guy. He thinks the world revolves around him. They done gave him that contract and all that. You don't put your hands on reporters, no matter how hardcore the questions are. You know what I mean? But it's been happening forever, man. Um, Dennis Rodman kicked dude in his genitals
Oh, I
on
remember
on the
that.
sideline. What's the guy? What's that guy? What's that kid's name? That's in jail right now. If in Miami, jumping on. So it's been happening for a while. Reporters and athletes are generally not the best of friends. It's gonna happen, but the kids are cupcake, and these reporters know how to chastise them, and they falling for it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. I'm not a Joel Embiid fan. I think he's an a-hole. I think that he is a great basketball player, but overrated in terms of contract and pay. You pay that man a lot of money. He's never won a championship, and if I'm not mistaken, he's never even been to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Mm.
And I think that sometimes it's okay to just let people walk. I mean, you other great players can come. Especially if you're not winning. He can't stay healthy. You know,
Yep.
and then he said he's not playing the second game of back to backs. Let's get
Yep.
serious.
Yeah. Can you
You
that
being paid,
that pissed me off. I'm sorry to
yeah,
cut you off, but everything against organized sports. That's everything
yeah,
against organized sports. That pissed me off.
yeah, yeah. And it's and like I said, we're not from that era. We're not from that soft brand of basketball. And so Joel Embiid is just an idiot. And I hope that he never wins anything until he is humbled. And the way his career is, he's not healthy enough to guide a team. And so if I'm the Philadelphia president and general manager, I'm going in a different direction, or I'm not making him my number one option to try to win a championship, if that is my goal, a championship. Now, if you like the Reinsdorfs and you want to, just make money and not win and put out mediocre product, fine. But I actually think that the Philly people, they're trying to win, and I agree with you, Big Cole. Paul George is soft too, but I will say that when Paul George is healthy, he plays. He is injury prone. He's
Mm.
not like Kawhi Leonard. He's not like Joel Embiid. And I hate to watch him move from team to team, chasing championships like
Mm.
he is. But he is out there trying to win and win a championship, not just being a diva and a prima donna like Joel Embiid. Um, we're going to have prayers for Greg Popovich. He is
Yeah.
supposed to come back to the sidelines, but right now he's been out with an undisclosed illness.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And, we hope that he comes back healthy and strong. So that's our NBA talk for today. Last time we had a sports show, we
Hmm.
were talking about the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers and how it was going to be a good series. And Kim and I predicted that the Yankees would win. Big Cole was with the Yankees as well. As we know, the Los Angeles Dodgers are the new World Series champions. And Bam has traded his his White Sox hat for a Dodgers hat. You'll never see me in another team's hat ever. But
Oh wow.
the Dodgers are
You
the
know,
champions. Shohei Ohtani had surgery today. Freddie Freeman was the MVP. It was not an entertaining World Series at all. Dodgers won in five, never made it back to LA for game six.
Hmm.
Bam. Why do you have on a Dodgers hat, and what are your feelings on the World Series?
all right, so I knew that question was gonna come up. So I got this hat like 2 years ago from my kids, and they
Uh-huh.
all put the for Christmas, and they all put their names on there.
Oh wow, that's
So
amazing.
it's just been sitting in my closet for like 2 years. You know what I mean? So and I happened to see it a couple days ago. I'm like, oh man, you know what? I could wear this for the show, because I knew they were gonna pull it off. A lot of the analysts like, yeah, they've been painting as the villains and this, then the third, because everyone was leaning towards the Yankees. I don't think they were painted as the villains. They just a better team. They're a better, well put together team. And big ups to Magic Johnson. Um, I'm very, very happy for him.
Hmm.
He bought the team what, like 10 years ago. Going back and forth, working with the Lakers. He left that shit show, focused on the Dodgers. Did you guys peep the Letterman he had on when they won?
No.
Custom made Letterman. Oh, look it up,
Oh,
y'all.
shout out to him.
Custom made Letterman. But I'm happy for him. They got a very pretty good team. So watch out for him next season too, y'all. Like seriously.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
Shout out to the
they paid a lot of money. They paid a lot of money for their players, And usually, when teams go out and get that big splash and spend all the money, it's usually a bust. But
Right.
this time around, in season one, after
Hmm.
taking Shohei from the city team of the LA Angels, they
Hmm.
got a championship. And yeah, shout out to Mookie Betts. He seems to be a real good black guy. And I don't care about either team. I want them to lose every year. Uh, go Cubs, go! As you see, my fly the W in the
We
back of
see.
me. But yeah, shout out to the Dodgers for winning. Women's baseball, professional baseball. Kim, would you be interested and would you support a professional women's baseball team?
If it was in person, again, even with men, I don't watch men's baseball on TV. It's boring. I don't think that women's would be any different. But if someone got me tickets to go, I would definitely go watch it live. I would watch baseball live anytime.
What do you think that a professional women's baseball league should do to be successful? Uh, After we have talked for several times about how the WNBA needs to do something to make its league more successful.
I think I think it's this exact same thing. There's no difference in how the WNBA should be marketed from any other female team. They're good, they're athletes, promote them as such. And that's it. I think it's just over analyzed and over everybody's trying to bring the fact that into it that it's women and things like that. They're athletes. That's it. Give them a correct budget, market them just like you would market any other team, and all of these teams will make money. The fact that you keep putting women's sports in it or women's baseball, women's basketball, like you're clearly making the difference. And of course, that's how people are going to view them. If a professional women's baseball team started and they marketed them correctly, like it would literally be like no shade, but it'd be like a league of your own. Like that movie was I mean, it was a movie, but that was real life. Like women played baseball because men couldn't, and they sold out everywhere. And it was because of the fact that they marketed them that way. All you have to do is use the same concept right now and stop trying to make it sexual and stop trying to put them in little things and stop trying to put them in bras and panties to play and things like that. Like stop trying to over sexualize everything and just let them play because they're professional athletes. That's it.
I felt attacked.
I don't know what you mean. I'm just saying in general. Every man, every single man idea of like, oh, I know how to fix this, make this shorter, make this tighter, put them in this, put them in that. Like women do not have to be sexualized in every single thing they do. Like it's fine. They're athletes. That's it. Done. I mean, America is telling us something different, but we'll rant about that tomorrow. But I'm just saying in general, everything about women does not have to be sexualized. It doesn't.
Bam, do you have any closing thoughts on that?
Well, I get what she's going with it, but sports uh historically has been a man thing. Let's just put it like that. So true statistic, right? When the World Cup, no, Olympic soccer, men and women, men got paid out of a pool of $400 million
Mm-hmm.
because they generated 6 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Women got paid out of a pool of 131 million. That's I mean, that's just the difference. And this is soccer, which is a worldwide sport. You know what I mean? So it's just it should be marketed more to the girls. Get the girls on it. Hey, you could take your girlfriend on a date to a women's game. A boyfriend will always go wherever his girlfriend wants to go if she wants to have some fun. You know what I mean? So you don't agree, my man? All
No, I
right.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just making
Oh,
So
okay.
faces.
So market it
As
more
they
to the
complain
girls.
the
Like I
whole way,
said,
but okay.
yeah, but once the action starts, at least you're there.
Oh,
At
right.
least, at
Okay.
least, at least you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Even merchandising.
Yeah.
How many women's jerseys do you see out there? So it's up to the sports, the sports themselves,
Mm-hmm.
the individual sports to say, okay, look, we're gonna lift y'all up so y'all could get where y'all need to be. But generally, sports is a man thing. It's been like that since the beginning of time. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would, I know Kim doesn't want to hear this, and I think that this is what Alfonso Tyner is saying in the comments is that I think they should go hard with what Kim is saying. Not, as far as uniform is concerned, just to get it out the gate strong.
Yeah.
Then add.
Women in the beginning, right? Men will get
Well, women
tired.
over
Men will get
sexualize
tired of
themselves.
it halfway through because men attention spans are like this, and then it will still not generate any money, right?
Okay, okay,
well,
okay,
Okay.
but I mean,
okay.
if,
Mhm.
like he
Right.
says,
I know, right?
Excel,
Because
one thing is,
excel.
Men always like the toy in the beginning, right? This is nothing different. This would be nothing different at all. If you over
but
sexualize the sport, you will be interested in the beginning and you will lose interest later.
well, you have to catch their attention one way, whether you think it's right or wrong. You have to
Mhm.
catch their attention one way or the other. Back in the days, every woman sports star had a. Man, my thing is tweaking again. What's going on? Every woman sports star had a. They had a what's it, Victoria's Secret catalog in their little lace. Am I lying? You know what I mean? Back in the days, and even a woman as muscular as Serena. You know, so it's not really like more of a sexualized. Some man just love woman, the female body. When man
Yeah.
just
But
like that.
women do too. Women sexualize or over sexualize themselves too. Um, and I feel like somebody like Beyonce, you hardly ever see her in clothes, and she's the biggest female
Yeah,
star, you know, on the planet. So maybe
fact.
behind
Hey,
Taylor Swift now,
I
but
disagree with
she
that,
don't
but
never
okay.
have on no clothes.
That I disagree with that, but we can move on.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I go to her IG and see how much you see breast and thighs on her, and it was stomach before she had kids. So I'm just saying,
I
if they
disagree.
want to if they want to succeed early, yeah.
Of course. Moving on.
Bam, you usually wear a White Sox hat. They hired a new manager, Will Venable, who was he was a decent player. It's so funny listening to this stuff now and seeing this stuff. These players, people who we watched as players, are now coaches and managers, and I mean, it's just wow. We definitely getting old. Will Venable was hired, 42
Man.
years old, to be a Cubs coach. Are you excited about that hire as you switch? Did you switch to a new hat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just went back to my
Bam showing out on Instagram and
I
Facebook.
see. I see.
Oh, I got tons of hats, man. I got a bunch of them. You know what I mean? I got tons of hats. But yeah, it is exciting to see what they got to bring to the table. These guys have lived baseball. They pretty much spent their whole lives in a dugout. So let's see what's gonna happen. It's always exciting when something new happens. So that's where we at.
That's all you got, huh?
Well, that's all I
After
got. We hey, no, that was just to get out the Dodgers joint. You know what I mean? But for right now, yeah, man, because we weren't necessarily a good club this year. So, you know what I mean, every little thing, every little change helps, especially someone who's been around. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I agree with that. White Sox hired Will Venable after a historical season of the most losses ever. So we'll see what Will can do. And yeah,
Where Hooli? Where
nobody.
Hooli at, man? Where he at when I need him? Where he at when I need him?
So, in our final topic for tonight, we've never really touched on this before. That's the college football playoff, which will expand from 4 teams to 12 teams,
Mm.
um, which I think is a good idea uh, temporarily. I can see it going left if some of the teams that don't have the backing, don't have the don't have the name, don't perform well in the playoffs, and the that first round of playoffs are blowouts, then them going back and cutting the teams down again. But I do like the idea of a team like Boise State and Idaho, who
Mhm.
they've been good for a long time, and they be beating ass out there on the western side of the United States, get a chance to go up against a powerhouse like at Ohio State in the playoffs, and maybe win. Maybe that team in Idaho is better than that highly recruited team in Ohio State. Bam, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's a good move. You know what I mean? Because it gives more teams a chance to get to the promised land. I don't. It's gonna be tough though, because now that you got all these teams jumping conferences, and the Big Ten got 20 teams on there now, and all this, so that will be the challenge. Yeah, Oregon isn't Oregon in Big Ten now,
Oregon is in the Big Ten. Wow.
and they all the way on the West Coast in Oregon. But
Right.
so that's going to be the challenge. The Pac-12 is changing, the MAC is changing, the SEC is changing. So hopefully they get it right, because now you're having too many teams in one conference. Where, okay, how many teams from this conference gets to go to this playoff? We got 20 of them. We could fill the whole slots if we have
Yeah.
good teams. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where I think the challenge is going to come from.
And even a team like Colorado, everybody roots for Colorado now that they have Deion Sanders and Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter, but they are not. They're a mid-level team. They're not
Oh
one of
wow.
the elite pro. They're not
Oh
an
yeah,
elite
they're mid.
program uh, in college football. So now they're moving up the ranks. They might be able to sneak into one of those 12 teams, and maybe they can make some noise against one of the top teams like Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon. And that would be great for somebody like Shador Sanders and Travis
Mhm.
Hunter, and for their program, for more of those teams. One of those, see, a lot, what people don't realize is that there are a lot of good and great players sitting on the bench
Yeah,
at
facts.
schools like Alabama, Georgia, Notre Dame, but just because of the name.
Hmm.
Whereas if you allow those teams that don't have that name to get more exposure, you'll probably even the playing field, because some of those players will say, "Hey, I'm not going to go here and sit on the bench. I'm going to go give
Right.
myself a chance to play against some of the so-called elite teams in at Boise State, Colorado, Arizona, stuff like that." So I'm excited for it. I hope that it works out. But it. This is America. We know how America likes to get a couple of people and everybody be the bully and keep everybody else down. So we'll see what happens. And then shout out to Indiana. Indiana is either
Indiana is
8-0,
balling.
9-0, and they're in the Big Ten. They have never, ever, ever won 10 games in a season,
Oh
and they've
wow.
Yep.
been around. Indiana University has been around for years. So I am excited, even though they won't win the Big Ten, because they have Oregon and Ohio State,
Ohio
Penn
State,
State,
yeah.
ahead of them, but at least they'll maybe sneak into the playoff and maybe they'll make some noise. And I'm excited for this new structure that has come about in college football. I wasn't a big fan of all the bowl games. You get the Citrus Bowl, you get the
Right.
Orange Bowl, you get the Rose Bowl, same teams every year, whatever. I like this.
You,
I like this
you
much
know,
better.
you know what changed the game the most was the fact that they created that portal, that player portal.
Mm.
Yeah,
Now those Alabamas are losing. They
yeah,
losing. It's a, you know what I mean. So now everybody gets the, it's a fair playing or even playing ground or whatever they call it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
let's see what's gonna happen in the next few years. These kids ain't
yeah.
geek to
And
go to
that's
the league
why,
anymore. They want to play.
yeah, yeah. And that's why Nick Saban left. That's why the coach, the basketball coach from Virginia, he retired a few weeks ago, right before the season started, because people are able to move around and they're not
Right.
able to just do, just get everybody and keep everybody for 4 years. Everything has changed. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Kim is watching CNN live.
Hi.
What is going on? What we wrapped up the sports show, Kim. How we looking?
Oh wow, it's not looking great. He just took Ohio. 195 to 91. Yeah. It's not
Yeah.
Okay.
looks like it's gonna be a long night. We did what we were supposed to do, Hopefully you went out and voted today and you voted for some shit that made sense. That's all. I'm not gonna go on my rant right now because we're not gonna stop.
Yeah.
So we're gonna save it for tomorrow. And yeah, he is now leading again. At first, he was winning Pennsylvania, but they have gotten over 50-something% of the vote in, and it has switched. And he is now also leading in Wisconsin, which he was leading when we originally started the show.
Okay. Okay.
White bigotry and
Well,
everything.
this has been the Unapologetic Podcast Sports Show. Sir Goodwood live with the great disappointed pro sports critic Bam. Thank you for your services and talents as usual. Hopefully you'll join us next Tuesday around the same time. The actual and factual Kim Smith. Don't worry. We have to have hope. We have to have faith that
Yep.
Kamala is going to succeed tonight. And, hey, if this doesn't happen, at least we only have 4 more years of Trump.
Oh
He
no, no, no,
never
no,
can
no,
run
no.
again.
No, we don't. No. He made it very clear that if he wins, this is our last election, period. He made that very, very clear. Now, if you chose not to hear him, that was totally on you. But he said that out of his
Well,
own two no lips having ass. Okay. He said
I,
that.
I,
So
I heard him.
this is it.
I heard him loud and clear. And I
Okay,
will
Mike,
say
like they
this.
said, Michael Jackson. This is it. So
Yeah,
I
I heard
hope
him
all
loud
of
and
them
clear.
chauvinist ass men that was so worried about a woman running the country. I hope they have them same feelings when their kids end up. Again, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Well, I'll say this. Donald Trump has to also know that even if he wins, that God is in control.
All the time.
And
Amen.
and he is 80 some years old. He
I
ain't gonna be here that much longer.
don't know. Quincy made it to 91. I'm just saying. Quincy made it to 91.
He ain't gonna be here that much longer. So I know my God that I serve.
Amen.
He can't good stuff. I can't expect him to be around that long.
I voted, but I'm bad with politics. It's just something that I never really dealt with. You know what I mean? I just sit with my sister and them. They'll break down all the policies from this side to this side. I think that's the biggest problem, that a lot of people don't even worry about recognizing what the difference in the policies are on both sides. They just go for whatever to say, oh, this one is cool. All right, vote for it. I'm voting for this one because my mama voting for him. oh, I'm voting for this because this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? So politics is dirty. It's been dirty. I'm not a fan of it. But I did vote. I voted not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before, and actually my first time ever voting ever in my life.
Oh, I love it! Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Why
love
is
it.
that?
Oh, I
It
had to
don't
let some.
matter. I
I
don't
had to
care
let.
what it was. I'm happy you
No,
did
no,
it.
no. I just have to let some time go by because so I can do
Oh
what I
yeah.
need to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Understood.
so yeah.
I'm
But
happy. I'm happy
I'm
that all
I'm
worked
good.
out and you were able to
Looking
join.
good at it. No, my OG
How
them
old are
like
you?
they made sure. Look, where my thing at? I got it somewhere. I got
I
that
was waiting
somewhere.
on my sticker today. I was like,
My
come
my,
on, give me my
my
sticker.
daughter. But for reasons that's probably that's beyond my control.
Yeah.
This is my first time
Well,
voting.
I am
Able
so happy,
able
so
able
happy
to
that
vote.
you were able to join. Shout out
You
2024.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out to
2040.
you.
Yes.
Thanks,
But
sir.
I still want to know how old are you?
I'm 25 on Tuesdays. We're gonna leave it at that. On Tuesdays, I'm 25.
Okay, y'all. This has been
Me
great.
too.
Okay, I gotta get back to CNN.
You probably need to turn CNN off. Give
Right, because
yourself a heart attack.
Oh,
Just go to bed,
that's what
wake
I'm
up.
on
It's
too.
like you're not
I
gonna know
know,
tonight. If
right?
you know
Same. Like
tonight,
it's in the background. I'm like, okay,
if
we
you
gotta.
know tonight, if you know tonight, it's probably going to be bad news. So you probably want to just wait till tomorrow.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it's
Unapologetic
looking rough.
podcast on all social media and podcast platforms. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Bam, for rocking the vote. And
Yes,
Amen.
we'll
sir.
see you all the time at the polls now, hopefully.
Yes.
We
Yeah,
need
yeah,
you to
I'll be
vote for
there.
those judges and Senate and all that stuff
Yeah,
now.
all that. I
Yes.
actually did. I did my homework a little bit.
That's right.
All right, good.
Loving it. All right. Good night.
All right, y'all. Peace out.
All right, peace out, y'all.